It's me again, folks. Welcome back into my kitchen, Cooking with Carol Diane. Today I'm going to put together a nice little comfort food using leftovers that I had from my last video, which was yesterday. And I've had a heck of a time downloading the thing. Sorry, it's a little long. I don't mean for my videos to be long, but sometimes I just get talking and I kind of forget you're even there. Isn't that strange? But it's true. So today I'm going to, and I do apologize for one other thing. I apologize for the video being long, and I apologize for on the KitchenAid mixers of saying that my white one didn't lock. Yeah, it locks, but I've never locked it. That's what's so funny. When I went back and looked at my video when I was doing some editing, I thought, what the heck? It does have that mechanism at the back, but I've never locked the machine, which told me my machine is well made, sturdy, everything's fine. If I don't have to lock that bowl, I can't even believe how many things I've made in that mixer, and I've never had a problem having the bowl not locked. So those two things I wanted to kind of correct. Okay, what am I going to make today? Well, in using the harvest vegetables yesterday in making my side dish, and I had several left over, but now I'm going to put in the pot and make a few different things in here of making a really nice homemade soup. And I think anytime you have leftovers or just things you want to make a soup with, the saying, put everything in the pot but the kitchen sink, is so true, because you can. And I'm going to do that today. So what am I going to start with first? First, I'm going to start with my meat that I'm going to have in here. I defrosted some hamburger. And this is just a pound of ground beef that I'm going to put in my pot here, my skillet. And I'm going to get it started while I cook some other stuff here. This out of the way. Put that down in there and turn on the fire. Put a good size heat to get it going. This is a leaner, not lean, but it does have fat in this, which will make the soup taste good. It was. I almost pulled out the package of sausage. I have these little sausage patties that I'm just not eating because I forget about them. I got them at Sam's Club. And I really thought, well, that tastes good in here too. But I'll go ahead and stick with this. This is fine. So while that cooks a little bit in this pot now, I'm going to add, I took out 3 of the, and I didn't have these set out yesterday, but I did get carrots at that Field to Fork farm stand. And they're so cute. They really are. So I have peeled them. Now I'm going to take the little ends off. And again, like I showed you yesterday, if you cut it on a slant, it looks better for presentation purposes. It just looks better in the bowl that I'm going to put this soup in. And why I'm starting with this first is my other stuff's already cooked and done. It will go in at the last minute. But because these are carrots, hard carrots, fresh, they're going to go in this pot, and they've got to start getting hot. They've just got to start cooking. I don't know. I had some errands to do this morning. Maybe it fried my brain. I don't know. Put in a little bit of water. I'm only going to add about 4 cups of water because there's not very much of this that I'm going to do. This is a small batch of soup. I'm not making a great big thing. It's just husband and I. He called today and he's not feeling well. He's coming home from work early. Okay. So I think this will kind of hit the spot. I really do. If I think I want to go back, see little ends on it, fresh. If I want to go back and add some more carrots, I certainly can. But I don't think so for just this recipe for 2 of us. I think we'll be okay. At the end of this video, I have put together showing a couple of things that I have started to do in my kitchen. What? Well, the dog can have that one. And there he goes, wanting to see what the heck that is. Anyway, I've started to put together just a few little things to give it a little color in here of fall. My dear, dear friend, her name's Laura, and she told me she thought my kitchen looked solemn. It's like, okay, I'll add some color. But I'm not ready to dig into all those totes in my shed for regular fall yet. I really don't start doing that until October 1st. But I'll see as time goes by how much I want to put out. The little tiny cabbage, but they're supposed to have a nice sweet flavor to them, being so little. So I am going to add that now in this pot that I want to have it start cooking. So I'll go ahead and take off that little end, and then I'll cut this right in half. And like any cabbage when you're doing, think of it like when you cook corned beef and cabbage. It's same principle. But it's just tiny. It's just a little cabbage. Now I'm going to put that in my pot. And I'm going to cook this until everything, and take that hard piece out. Try to still get that out of there. I'm going to cook this until everything starts to get nice and soft. I might have to take a different knife here. Get that little piece out of there. That's what I want out. I want that hard little piece in there. Again, just kind of cut it up. And because it's a little cabbage, I think this will be just right for bite size. I really do. That in there. One more little end. I hope everybody's start to September has started off great. I really do. Each month, you should go into it kind of with a positive attitude that, you know, it's a new month. And the fire on this one might help. I'm going to chop this up just a little bit here and down my fire. I don't want great big chunks of meat in this soup. I make a lot of different soups, I really do. I should have put on an apron. Oh well. I'm going to let that cook. I'm going to get this to a roaring boil and let that cook, and then I'll check back with you. All right, I'm checking back in on my soup. The meat is done. I rinse the grease off of my meat and put it in a strainer, and then I take some hot water and I just, you know, rinse off that grease, because I don't want grease in my soup at all. So it's done. The nice cabbage and the carrots cooked great. Now I'm going to add my leftovers, and the leftovers consisted of, I had potatoes, the little yellow potatoes. I have zucchini. I have bell pepper, a regular yellow onion in there, and the nice garden tomatoes. And I added Italian seasoning. So I'm going to add all this in here. One nice bowl full of leftovers going in this pot. That I'm happy with. Now it just looks like a medley of, again, just vegetables, which is fine. But now I'm going to add my hamburger in here. Get that in there. And then I'm going to add something I don't often do. I really don't. We have some roasted peppers. And I've got several bags out in my freezer in the garage. And I'm going to go ahead and take, not very many, because I don't want it too hot. But these are the roasted peppers. I don't think they're real hot. I'm hoping this one isn't so that I can eat it. And I'm just going to chop those up. I mean, I put the chilies in my, the green chilies in my salsa when I make it. I really do. Because it's good. We'll see on this. Yeah, that looks fine. Now what I'm going to add, chili's off of me. I'm going to add 1 beef bouillon cube. If you have a box of beef broth, or maybe you have your own homemade of beef broth, then put that in here. But I am going to add that. I'm going to give it a little bit more water here because it is a soup, so I want to have it just a little bit more. That beef bouillon cube will give it lots of flavor. Now I'm not going to add anything else for quite a little while. I want to heat all this back up, especially those the vegetables of my medley. That has to get hot. The hamburger already was. And I'll put the lid back on and let this kind of, I don't know, kind of a medium low on it. And just kind of let that simmer, a high simmer, and cook until it's all nice and blended. Then I'll come back and probably put some salt and pepper in there. And maybe even a little bit more Italian seasoning. I'll have to taste it to see by that point. But right now I want this to cook just a little bit longer. Okay, it's been quite a little while that I have let this just simmer and cook. And now I'm going to taste it. I'm a firm believer. Taste it before you put it on the table and serve it to yourself or anyone. So I'm going to taste it. Oh, wow. Husband's going to like this. Yes. Doesn't need any more seasoning. Don't even really need salt and pepper. I had enough with my vegetable medley that I did yesterday. Yeah, he's gonna like this. He's gonna be tickled pink when he sees that great big, and I only did half of it, of that roasted pepper. Oh yeah. Doesn't take much, it really doesn't, and you've got a nice soup. Looky there. Yeah. Hang on. Well, here I am over at my table. At the end of the video, you'll see that I put some fall little earth tone colors into my kitchen. And I kind of like it. I really do. I'm going to sit here and have this nice soup. Still waiting for husband to get home. Can't really wait for him because I've been hungry all day. I really have, so I'm going to eat my soup without him, but he'll like it when he gets here too. I hope you've enjoyed this video showing what you can use with your leftovers. Add whatever you want to your soup. And yes, my little cocoa bean wants some too. This is from my kitchen to yours. Go have a great day today. I'll catch you next time on Cooking with Carol Diane. I'm going to start this little part of my video showing that my dear friend who thinks my kitchen looked a little solemn without any color, I am just now beginning to bring a little bit of fall into the kitchen. It's only the 5th of September, but I pulled out just a few little things. One is this little area that I keep up pretty much all year round. I just add the different theme to it. It's a little 2-tiered tray that does turn. And this one I found of leaves are falling, autumn is calling. And it certainly is outside, and I will show that here in a little bit. I have my home little sign right here. These little chickens I found a long time ago, and I really like them. I really do. They have a lot of character to them. So as I come around the bin here to show you that I'm still doing fall, I really am. Here's more of them. I put right here, be grateful, and more little chickens. Now up here, I have my bigger chicken that I said before that I wanted to keep out only the roosters and chickens that I really liked. And that's one of them right there. I have my owl. He's a scented, you put that wax that's scented in there to give a nice smell in your kitchen. Right now, the one I have is pumpkin spice. My plate rack, I've added a little splash of color up there of the yellow, or gold, I guess you would call it. It's just kind of a lighter gold. And I did put down my, the bigger plant right here on the plant stand, and I added the gold chicken down here in keeping with the gold part up here on my chicken rack. Well, it is chickens. It's got a lot of them up there, my plate rack. The curtains, which I'll get to the curtains here in a minute, but they are fall leaves. That's the pattern. Now I've come around to my table where, again, right now, I can't say this in October, I'll probably go a lot more yellow and orange, but right now I'm doing just the subtle colors of the rich, deep chocolate browns and the gold and probably the rust orange color. I put my rooster here of Let's Eat. I added the apples on it and the little lights, the light up lights. Can't see them very well in the daytime, but they do light up. They do. And then over here in this serving area, so right here of my cookbook stand, I guess you'd call it, I kept it here, and I keep my cookbooks here. The farmhouse and the white chalk painted rooster, I kept down there to kind of cover up the cookbooks, really. I added my snake plant up here. This is my cute little painted rock that I found, I don't know, quite a while back. I really did. See if I can get a close-up picture of him. And he just reminds me of my two little dogs, my little dachshunds. I paint rocks and I leave them places for people to find. I think it's fun. I really do. On my serving area here, my little buffet, as I would call it. Yes, okay, now I've added a splash of fall in here. I put in the artificial foliage into my vase. I took out the gray candles and I put the fall nice orange. It's a soft, subtle orange though, kind of like a creamsicle orange. I like it. I have my yum pillow here. Then these were the curtains, like I said, that I settled for of what I made, showing the fall leaves. And I think I can handle those for a little while. I really do. My chicken cabinet, as I call it down here, I took a bunch of stuff off of it, and I added the other big rooster that I really like, and the little one that I've had for a lot of years. And then I put up my watercolor painting in my new frame that I showed you a while back. That's that. So again, my kitchen is coming together, slow but sure. It really is. And for the centerpiece, he's coming together also. Now I'll go outside and show you why the fall leaves are falling, yes, and why I haven't brought in very much fall just yet, because it's just beginning. I'm out in my front yard. I wanted you to see my great big tree that I have, and the colors of the leaves are changing. You know, it's not even fall yet, and yet I'm still enjoying my tree with the foliage and all the way up my tree. This is such a big tree. I love this tree. Way up here. See if I can get way over here to show you how the leaves are changing, the fall colors. There they are. There they are. It's going to be an early fall, I think. So pretty.